Blank also described several infants being killed and their intestines removed, as well as other acts of cannibalism. Blank also stated that former United States President George H.W. Bush was engaged in a sex act with an unknown male black, and so much more. So this could be one of the most disturbing new drops from the Epstein file release. This is essentially a tip that was turned into the FBI, I believe, in 2019, August 2019. Basically, this is like the rundown of an interview with an alleged victim of Epstein's who wanted to come forward with what happened to them. And this story is incredibly disturbing. Blank stated that he first met Epstein at approximately age 4 while at the blank East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Then he said his family members of the blank stated at the time he was raped, sodomized by his great uncle, and that Epstein was there but didn't touch him. He goes on to say that Epstein spoke to him after he was raped by his great uncle, but he didn't know who Epstein was until way later in 2016. But he continues. Blank further stated in sum and substance that while on a large luxury ship that sailed out of the Newport Beach show in Newport, Rhode Island, September blank at approximately 8 years of age, he, blank, was subjected to some type of medical exam on the yacht by unknown doctor while his great uncle and family members were present. Blank went on to describe a bizarre event in which blank inserted a tape measure in his rectum. Blank stated subsequent to the exam he was then raped, sodomized by Epstein, as well as former United States President Bill J. Clinton, while in a heavy drug-induced state. Blank also stated that the bottoms of his feet and back were slashed. Black further stated also during the said yacht trip, multiple unknown male blacks, or black people, were engaged in sex acts with unknown female whites who had their backs slashed and were bleeding. Blank also described several infants being killed and their intestines removed, as well as other acts of cannibalism. Blank also stated that former U.S. President George H.W. Bush was engaged in a sex act with an unknown male black. Former United States Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and businessman George Soros were present on the same yacht while all of the aforementioned acts of violence were occurring. Blank was then asked if he had any injuries or scars as evidence, to which Blank responded, "On my anus." The victim then provided a handwritten list of his family and extended family members and suggested they talk to them. He also stated that his great uncle is in possession of video evidence of his crimes against blank, as well as several snuff films that blank had watched in the presence of his great uncle. So in this one tip alone, we've got multiple former US presidents named, multiple high-profile government figures, allegations of a yacht party, which I don't find to be unrealistic, more allegations of medical experiments done on victims, which Epstein was obviously fond of, violence, potential murder, snuff films. And this isn't the first time we've heard these allegations in relation to Epstein. However, we're seeing more and more of them now, and I think people are starting to wake up to the fact that this might not be a joke anymore.